I felt like I've been sleeping for 10 years.
Well, 7 years, 7 days, but that's beside the point.
Oh no, he's casting gun.
Are we the bad guys? Am I the
You set fire to the library!
I told you if you do this, you're bullying.
Yes.
Don't do it, I'll cry.
Yes.
Don't do it, I'll cry.
Weep for me.
I will put my bag of chips down. I am very ready.
Dorito fingers.
Hopefully plot happens, and not combat.
I hear clogging in the other room.
Hail, travelers! Welcome to the 5th episode of Ardent Awakening.
Woo! Clap, clap, clap.
Just a couple of moments of nonsensical noises, as this is the part of the VOD that's usually muted. It is the cost we pay of Dungeonmaster.
Unleash the baiting calls.
Undead, flirt with the keeper.
Hey, that's a nice,
Don't flirt with the keeper, his dad's watching.
Last time on Ardent Awakening, you guys defeated your enemy. Wow, look at you.
Wowie woo.
Took down the Candelabra Knight. By his defeat, you released the Paladin Vessel for the use of all future players. And current players, I suppose. Now, that being said, lots of stuff to go over as you guys are in a relative peaceful time, as it seems that the Silent have slunk back into whatever denizen of the amphitheater that they are hiding in, and you have been given, at least to some degree, access to the archives, able to explore and research to your heart's content. You also discovered the use of essences, and how those will operate, and I suppose also how to waste them.
Frown.
You live, you learn.
Frown.
We're the reason why safety stickers exist.
Caution.
Beta test, you know?
Caution. Coffee hot.
4+. Nooya.
And so, the episode begins. What would you like to research first, or what would you like to do?
Yeah, before we did the research, I think we need to address the elephant in the room that happened last time.
You mean the primordial being in the room?
The scary motherfucker in the room.
No, we don't need to talk about that.
What do you mean?
Just ignore that.
Okay. And
Aren't
also,
Roxanna gonna die or something?
Also what happened, Roxanna used Vessel Sight and saw that there was something going on with the Keeper, specifically that the mask looked, blinked. The point is that you have seen that there is something amiss about the Keeper, and it is not entirely clear as to what it is.
Yeah, Roxanna, who had quickly, everyone would have noticed, noped backwards out of the room 20 feet in like half of a second, is just staring hardcore at the Keeper, with death gripping the key that she has in one hand and drawing a dagger with the other, pointing it at the Keeper and going, who are you? Not the Keeper, you thing. The mask blinked as she looks to everyone else in the room, and she goes, I saw something staring at us through that mask.
I don't think that book was any good for her.
The Keeper will look, well, I say look, but you don't really know. Will at least turn towards Roxanne and will sort of kind of turn away and will not say anything.
You know, she brings up a good point. I don't feel like I can trust you if you continue to hide your face like that. So why don't you just take it off?
The Keeper will look at each of you and then will take off his mask.
That was easy.
What you see on the other end horrifies you. You see that he has no head. The entirety of his body the entirety of his head is collapsed in on itself and rotted away. You see smoldering, ardent embers where the front of his face should be, down towards the bottom of his jaw. In fact, the only part of his head that seems to be more or less completely intact is the back of his head.
God's abominable. Put it back on! Put it back on!
The Keeper will put his mask back on.
Were you in like a mining accident or something?
The Keeper will speak. As I have alluded, I forget much of myself. I cannot say what has happened to me.
Do we see the back of his head? Like, is the
Yes.
mask just covering the front?
Well, it covers the front and top. So basically the parts that are missing. The back of
Got
his
it.
head is still intact. However,
Is it just like the back of a skull?
well, he still has like some hair and it looks fine from the back end.
Okay. Looks
It's
normal from
difficult.
back.
It's difficult for me to describe without drawing it. But essentially, imagine if like the frontal lobe and the top part of the jaw and like all of that is missing, hollowed out with just like red embers, almost like it was set on fire.
Are you alright there, Mr. Keeper?
The keeper will move his mask up as basically now, you know, the farce has been revealed. And you will see that when the keeper speaks, he does so without moving his mouth because he has no top part of his mouth to move. And instead, the embers inside light up ever so lightly, and he just simply speaks.
Can I do an Arcana check on his mask itself?
Sure.
Okay.
21.
Ooh, nice.
Well, as you take a closer look now that it has been revealed, there is definitely a latent magic on the mask. At first, when detected, you had thought it was simply the Keeper's magic, as he himself is a caster. But now, with Roxanna pointing it out, there is certainly something else about it. What was your question, Cratzzy? I'm sorry.
I just asked if he was okay.
Oh, the Keeper will then simply speak. I do not know how to answer that question. I know only to say that I do not remember what it is like to be whole. I only remember pieces, small, withering memories. My purpose, what I am to protect, and perhaps how I might do so.
You wanna
Righty.
tell us about them?
You both talk.
Your
What'd
memories.
you say?
You want to tell us about the memories?
I remember my duties as Keeper. I remember why I am here. I remember some faces, pieces. I remember fire and blood, pain and death. My brethren slaughtered. That is all I can recall. It is twisted.
Sounds like classic amnesia.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Sera identifies with the Keeper. She'll look at him and say, perhaps we're all on a journey to complete ourselves.
I hold hope that the answer to my troubles, to the troubles of the theater, and perhaps a key to restore that which you've lost may be found within the Amphitheater. I know it is unfair to have enlisted you without your consent. I must admit that desperation causes one to forget one's own manners and morality. I could never apologize enough. But please, you have already proven yourselves stronger than the guards of this place. Stronger than the knights of old. I do not know
Or
where you pull forth.
Lucky.
Luck is a strength in and of itself. Ask any that has seen war. But regardless of where this strength may come from, it is clear to me that hope is in short supply. And whatever has caused me to forget, it is getting worse.
So do you need a bigger mask eventually?
Eventually, I may not need a mask at all.
Is there a way to restore your face, you think?
I care not for my face. I care for the memories I have lost, and the knowledge that will be lost if I am. The amphitheater is larger than you know, than what you can see. There are places and spaces hidden within sight and without. The knowledge of the Taladoni was entrusted upon me, upon my people. That was him, not me.
It seems you're feeling a bit weary. I suggest that all of us return to the archives and get our bearings, and you can stay here and recover and guard the soul font. Does that sound alright?
Is there a place to take a nap?
Is there a laboratory?
You mean a lavatory?
Didn't know the keeper was snarky, alright.
Oh, I didn't realize that was in character. He will respond, I believe so, yes.
Right.
I have a question. One last one. Is your fate, rather the fate of a keeper, the same as all keepers?
I don't know.
And any ones that come after you?
Perhaps.
You seem to remember more now than when we last saw you.
That is true.
You know what we did to make that happen?
Upon the death of the night, I saw its radiance within the font. I believe I knew him. And I began to remember. But it is as if a bucket with a hole has water poured within it, full for an instant, fading with each moment. To remember is to grasp at smoke, waving, twisting, and nothing.
As part of your keeper duties, do you remember the indexing system for your archives?
I can recall what knowledge is stored where, yes.
Alright.
Does this include the names of the guards for here, including the knight that we fought?
Although I knew him, I cannot remember his name.
Oh, there has to be a ledger somewhere that kept records of everyone. Surely we can find it.
Perhaps in the barracks.
There's a barracks? How big is this bloody place?
As I said, it is larger than it appears.
Alright, it
Do you
seems...
maybe have a map?
I do not have one with me.
I believe we were given one last session.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
just
yeah, but he doesn't
criticize.
have it. You do.
I do.
I knew he
Alright,
was a bit
sorry.
amnesiac, but I didn't know it was this short term.
I mean, did you
You know-
forget Sabeiro?
Dying and all.
No. I didn't forget.
Then where is it?
It's on my person.
Okay, good to know.
One last question from me, at least. Sorry to bombard you like this after your little story. And she's gonna point to the now barricaded with a singular crate door with her dagger, and she's gonna go, why is there a large tome that's completely locked up?
I do not know the specific reason, but there was many things that the Taladoni entrusted us to keep safe. Knowledge that is dangerous as wielded improperly.
Right, okay, let's... Is everyone done? Ask any more questions? Lingering thoughts, anything? If not, I would like to get to the archive.
Should we tell him to
Ellie.
get, like, rid of the mask? Since it's clearly evil.
He can keep it. I mean, considering what's underneath it, we can get him another mask. Still have his family crest on it. It's up to the keeper.
Everyone just mind their own business.
I do want to know, what do you think we should research? What do you think is prevalent for us?
That was me. Hold on.
Water.
The question wounded him.
The keeper will respond and say, perhaps what has become of this place. Recent records, if any, may yet be revealing.
Thank you.
Do
We'll
you remember where recent
keep that
records
in
are?
mind.
It should be within the archives.
Perhaps things that aren't quite so dusty then. Sera's slowly walking out of the room. She wants to take a nap.
Appreciated, Keeper.
I have one more question for you, if you don't mind. The essence you gave me, what would happen if I hypothetically ate it?
I'm the one that eats rocks here.
Is it like soul-ish?
Can we not put foreign objects in our mouth?
Oh no, it is not anything so terrible as to devour a soul. That is not what you're doing.
Oh, good.
An essence, true, is produced by powerful souls, but they are not of themselves souls. They are a residue left behind by the ideals and emotions that soul hold dear. Like gold within a vein of the earth.
Well, he put it in words that I understand. It's valuable to some people, not everyone.
That means don't eat it, Albert.
Speaking of, what happened? I was a bit preoccupied. Didn't we have two? What happened to Sera? Evelyn?
It's
Wasn't there
gone
a-
for some reason. I'm not sure
Don't
what
look at me. That was
Some
all
reason?
Evelyn.
I don't know.
Also, Sera, on what you said before, if we find like a very large piece of
Good
fabric, I could set up a hammock in the archives, so we don't have to move away from
This is the
this
Keeper
Oh,
goes
what?
through Ghostbusters style.
Did you guys say something?
What was that way?
I just moved him to the font.
The fucking Ghostbusters over here decided to just fly through the damn walls.
Look at us go.
Now where it goes.
There is no Keeper, only Zool.
How do we get outside from here? I was going to suggest finding bed rolls and stuff in the storage room, but can we say like we find that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Pog.
You know, I have pain tolerance down to an art, but
Oh my god, this camera.
I'm pretty spent on healing.
I'm sure if we all get some rest, we'll be right as rain in the morning.
I don't even know if I can get any.
Well, guys.
Arcane, does
here?
it matter where we sleep? Like, do you want us to, because you brought us here, do you want us to be resting here? Does it matter?
I mean, you can rest
Yeah.
wherever you like, but it doesn't really matter unless it's a dangerous place. But this is the safest place.
Yeah, I was wondering why we were here.
Sera will move somewhat backwards so it's not quite as bright. She'll bring out, I think she's got a bedroll. Let me look at my inventory here.
Well, there's some in the storage room, so you can have bedrolls.
Oh good, I don't. I would be laying on some rope.
Well, if none of you are planning to research anything.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the archives and I wanted us to go as a group. But if some of you want to rest here, I just thought we would leave the keeper alone to,
Ponder his
You know.
palm.
I am no more than a walking
ponder his
stick.
font.
If we run into trouble, I will be no help.
I'm
Well,
operating on fumes.
I shall found dress. Wait, I don't need.
Albert, you seem to be the only person here who isn't terribly injured. You want to come with me to the archives to pick up some material real quick?
I'm your guy.
Alright. Sera, it seems you're already reading, some things. Do you want me to grab your research?
I'm looking for familiar names. I'd like to summon a familiar to make us all stronger.
Familiars, got it. I'll pick up
Sounds
anything
good to
that I
me.
see. Let's go, Albert. She's gonna put a hand on Sabeiro's shoulder and she goes, hang in there, alright?
No, I'm trying. I kind of need to patch myself up anyway.
Mm-hmm. You rest and take care of the others for me, alright?
Please be safe.
We will, as she just
And don't open any damn doors leading into random places. If it has a book, don't touch it.
She's gonna stick her tongue out at him and just go, "It's one time, and jeez." Let's go.
Sera's gonna set up her bedroll next to the font, use the light of it to just read through what she carried back.
I'm glad to see that. Well, you're all right now, Albert. You
I'm
gave
glad
me
to
quite
see
a
it as
scare.
well.
Yeah.
I don't remember much, but just I think I was burning. Kinda hurt.
It was rough to say the least, but look, to explain myself, explain my actions of what you heard, just a tidbit of it. It wasn't like I suddenly gave him mercy at the end of it. It was a whole ordeal, so to say. And then,
All right.
as Roxanna is crossing the courtyard, she's just going to quickly, basically surmise what happened at the end of it. Once we got him to 50 health, the whole flashback, and then, oh, decision.
Albert
think?
will understand and be tell her she did the right thing.
Load and 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 load.
Load and load and load and load and
I think you pulled something.
my bag.
So we are researching.
Yeah, everyone's like preparing for a long rest, I'm supposing, while we're just quickly going to the archives to snatch up everything that we can find on familiars before we basically have the downtime, I suppose, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like role play this out for a second because Roxanna had to get some things off of her chest.
Go ahead. Do what
Sure,
you
I
like.
can be a therapist.
Still loading. Roxanna's gonna look over to Albert after that whole explanation. She's gonna go,
I would have preferred. I was trying to be insistent, actually, about everyone coming, but I suppose they're not in any sort of way to really push themselves further today. But keep this between you and me for now.
What?
I don't trust the Keeper, not in the slightest.
Why not?
So I don't have control over my token. Similar to how I saw the nights past, something similar happened where I was able to look further deeper into the Keeper, and I'm not sure if, to put it bluntly, I do not believe it's just because of his injuries and everything that happened here is the reason why he's in tatters like that, his mind, actually. I think it's because whatever's inhabiting his mask, or I don't know. It's strange. I think it's something to do with, I don't know, I can't even put into words, but I don't know if it's the Keeper we're dealing with, or if that mask has any sort of control over him, if it can influence his actions.
You mean
I don't know the extent of it.
Possessed?
Exactly, that's the word. I'm not sure if... keep close. It is dark after all.
I can't see anything.
Let me light a torch real quick. I'm accustomed to navigating in the dark. My apologies.
Oh, that's much better, thank you.
Mm-hmm. It is because I don't know whether whatever being is looking through his mask. I don't know if it's benevolent, malicious. As far as I'm concerned, we're summoned by some crackpot necromancer.
Well, it wouldn't be much too different than what we're doing now.
How do you figure?
We sort of possessed these bodies, didn't we?
Do you think it's something similar to our circumstance?
Maybe.
But that would mean we're not dealing with the Keeper. It would mean that we're dealing with whoever's occupying the mask.
Well, I'm still dealing with you. You're still dealing with me. You know?
I don't think we're on the same page with this, but we can discuss further with the group.
I understand your suspicions.
Mm-hmm.
But I will keep an open mind for now. Looking, books.
Books.
Make your perception checks.
I perceive.
I'm perceiving. I'm not very perceiving. I thought it was over here that she was getting her books. I guess not. I believe I'm a bit too distracted at this point.
Alright. One moment, please.
There goes Albert.
Could I also have a torch, please?
We gotta wait. He said give us a moment.
Thank you.
Sorry,
A moment is 1.5 minutes.
Not as quick at doing this.
Evelyn snores.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get faster at this and then it won't take so
Did you hear that?
long.
And the sound of silence.
No, it sounded like snoring. Came from over there.
Cratzzy. Sera slightly wakes up from the very loud
It rattles
snoring.
the whole building, summons another boss.
Louder than the 4-ton dynamite.
Alright,
It's Baker's dynamite.
with that perception
Yeah.
check, You don't hear anything until you start to search around a little bit more. And then you hear something.
Where are we supposed to be? Oh, that's what the check was for. I thought we were finding books.
Right.
Oh, this is why he got us to the map.
God
Albert?
damn it.
You guys are gonna fight a knocker. This is gonna be fun.
Albert runs.
All
Hey,
right.
Albert, did you hear the music change?
All right, as you're kind of looking around, trying to look for books to read, you hear this.
That sounds like a merchant. From where?
It sounds like, what are you buying?
How does that sound like a merchant?
Where does it come from?
Where did he go?
It seems
Somebody left their retirement
the
home.
sound is coming from the northwest.
Shh,
You hearing this?
be quiet.
Yoda's having a great time.
Albert,
Somebody's
Draw.
eating knowledge.
stay behind me. Keep quiet.
Alright.
Have your weapon ready, alright?
Yeah, it's fucking Yoda.
Is my weapon glowing, Arcadum?
No.
Okay. Alright.
Out the lights. How should we approach this?
But we can't see without light.
Right. Let's try a friendly approach, alright?
Alright.
Do we need to roll stealth or anything?
No.
Doesn't matter since we have light, but
we are
No need to roll
glowing right
stealth,
now.
and then you guys see this
Hello?
creature.
oh whoa!
It is standing on top of the bookshelf, and it seems to be licking some books.
It's the librarian.
What the hell?
Run that by me again, Chief.
All right, you see that he has a
hello there.
nice tome, and he's just licking the shit out of it.
He's dusting them off.
Albert will pick up a tome and lick it
Is that my familiar?
slowly. Kind of looking at him to see if he doesn't like it.
Hey! And she's gonna quickly, because she was offering some of her rations to Sabeiro earlier. She already has it kind of out. She's gonna quickly reach in her pocket and take out like a piece of jerky, and she's gonna hold it out in front of her. And she goes,
There.
"Do you want?"
Oh, I got it. Albert will pull out his notebook and like crouch down and try to get him over here. Come on, little guy, come on.
I'm not a dog.
What? You can
Why are you
speak.
eating paper?
I'm not eating paper. I'm tasting the
doing?
knowledge.
What?
How does it taste?
Honestly, it's not very filling. But that's what happens when you're in the gardening section.
Right. So,
What?
do you gain anything out of it?
Yes, knowledge, obviously.
Why not?
Nikki, can you
Why-
make him small? I don't know how to change token sizes.
You,
Why
you
are you,
legit met Yoda.
Thank you.
Why are you in the gardening section then?
Well, let me ask you this. Why are you in the gardening section?
Oh, we just arrived.
Yeah,
I can hear
obviously.
you across
Around.
the room.
You're not silent, so, you know.
Yes, we can be very loud.
No, I meant you're
No,
not
don't-
one of the silent. I can
apologize
understand.
for
I
my
can
friend.
understand linguistically how that could be confusing.
Oh yes, the silent, yes, of course.
Yes.
Right, so bad start. We apologize for assuming that
You
you're
are forgiven.
some sort of dog.
And he walks away.
Wait,
Get back here, please.
I'm
What?
sorry to impose, but you are basically the second living creature we've encountered in this entire thing that hasn't tried to kill us.
Okay.
So I thought we could have some introductions.
I'm not looking for friends.
Acquaintances, allies. This doesn't have to be friendship.
What's in it for me?
What do you want? I have some. I don't know. I could find some knowledge that would be tasty for you. Anything. Name.
Nah, I don't know. You don't really look like the learned type.
Sorry.
I'm kind of the learning
I
type.
accept your apology.
Wait, please. Who are you? Can you
Oh,
at least tell us that?
fine. My name is Modo.
Pleasure to
Modo.
meet you, Modo. I'm Albert.
Roxanna. That's Albert.
Okay.
Yeah, we have friends over in the amphitheater as well. We're acquaintances of the keeper. We've killed a couple of silent.
Wait, you killed some of the silent?
Is that a good or
yeah.
a bad reaction?
No, that's
It's
good.
not a big deal.
You have any idea how much damage they've done to this place?
Yeah, did you see the east side of this this section? It looks horrible.
Well, I mean, this place isn't so bad. It's just I've tasted everything here. There's only so much you can learn about gardening.
Oh, listen. I got
I
a proposal for you.
I suppose the section on the geopolitical statements of corn was pretty interesting. You'd be surprised at how powerful that crop is.
I was about to sacrifice my my life for the gardening section.
I mean, factually speaking, the power of corn is more than you would think.
Look, this is quite riveting. But it
Grapes,
seems that
however,
you actually...
let me tell you about grapes. Grapes are way more valuable than corn, though.
It's... Right, could you actually help us then if you are
Help you with what?
knowledgeable about everything here? We're trying to find
Whoa,
any
I didn't say
research on
everything.
familiars.
I didn't say familiar. Well, I'm a familiar, but that's not really the point.
What?
Wait, you're familiar?
Well, no, because we just met.
But are you like...
Linguistics.
But to answer
Getting
your
a bit
question,
confused.
yes, I am familiar with what familiars are. As I am one.
Are familiar? Wait, actually, do you think you can accompany us?
No.
Wait.
Why? I have
Why
a
would
friend who is
Why would I follow a random stranger that I just met in a gardening section?
We have this, we came across
At
this
best,
really
you're
nice
boring.
book.
At worst, you could be a murderer.
I mean, we've literally just admitted to killing some silence, so
Yeah, but
does
those aren't.
matter.
They're not really people anymore.
What do you mean?
Oh, I
So
could go into the deep morality of how they've succumbed to madness and the cult and given up their humanity, and how one might try to extrapolate from that therefore the killing of them is justified as purging any sort of vermin or rodent. But then you'd have to enter, but they're humanoid, they have rights. Oh, I just finished licking my way through social studies up in the northern part, and I gotta tell you, it's terrible.
You seem like the philosophical type. You love to have a conversation.
Oh no, I hate philosophy. Philosophy's like
Right.
the fatty part of the steak.
But you are very talkative and you're very engaging in conversation. I know someone who would be great to
I'm not going to
engage
follow
with.
you to a room.
Well, what if we bring them here then later? Are you gonna stay here? Do you?
I will be in
at
the
least in the
area.
archives.
I will be in the area, probably.
Could you,
Right. So
May-
we'll
could
bring
you
a
maybe
friend
help us
around
find our
later.
way around the library?
Oh yes, I could do that,
All right. Thank you.
but I won't,
Why not?
because what's in it for me?
I got something for you.
What do you have?
So we found this book, right?
Yeah.
On crafting using essence. It's
Okay.
pretty juicy knowledge.
Yes, I've licked that already.
God damn it.
I have a question. So what was your name again?
Wow.
No,
Modo.
Modo. How do you spell that?
It is spelt M-O-D-O-E.
I think we got what we came for.
X.
What?
All right. We'll be back. I'm sorry to bother. Enjoy your gardening.
Pleasure to meet you, Modo.
Pleasure
Yes.
to meet you.
All right.
Okay, lead us back to the font, I guess.
That was weird. All right. find out about plant decorations. Oh, that's a great idea.
Right. So, getting Sera.
weird.
No need to move all the way back. You can just talk to Sera.
Yeah, we're going back to Sera, and Roxanna's gonna go, like, on the way there, down the hall, all of you guys are just gonna hear, Sera! 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 As she's just progressively running down the hall towards the
Meanwhile,
sofa.
back at the font, Sera is getting all cozy, and then in the background,
God damn.
Sabeiro stands up, shield out, sword out.
All the fights they just had, she's gonna wake up in a panic.
she wakes up swinging, Who there? Who there?
We found a familiar! Do you want a familiar? We found a familiar.
Closes her ears out of annoyance.
Are you sure this isn't just somebody who's familiar with familiars?
No, he said that he was a familiar, but we're not familiar with him. He clarified that. He was very talkative, unfortunate.
Are you trying to set Sera up on a date with this person?
She said she was interested in familiars, and we found an actual familiar, so I just thought it'd be very pertinent.
Does he look like her type?
Are you looking out
No,
for
we've
me?
just met.
Yes.
Sabeiro, are you concerned on my behalf?
Kinda.
Why?
Because you're at one less health than me.
Roxanna's just gonna, like, take out some parchment and, like, go on the floor and quickly, like, do a quick sketch of the dude, as well as write his name on paper, and then show it to Sera.
What did you think of this small purple creature?
That doesn't look anything like him.
Shut
It's
up.
more like
Are you
this.
Fucking
And he'll
elf.
draw it again.
Sorry.
Alan's such an art critic.
Wow.
So does he have 4 legs or 8? I can't tell.
No, so that's it. All of you are quite insulting, I'll have you know. My penmanship is great. Now,
So it's got 2 legs.
Actually, very
kinda
nice
like a
if I have
monkey.
a proper sleep.
sorry to disturb your rest. We'll go into the corner over here and be more quiet.
Sera holds her ground. If anything, she inches closer to Evelyn.
Come on now. Alright, so yeah, my first impressions, horrible to have a conversation with because he draws on a lot. He was very if I hadn't interrupted, he would have gone on for ages about gardening. I didn't want to hear about gardening.
Oh, listen, Sera. Sera.
Sera.
Sierra?
Sera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
What is it, Alberto?
This familiar, right? He licks up knowledge.
Oh.
Like a lollipop?
Yes, exactly
Yes,
like that
actually.
lollipop.
Fantastic.
He goes around the archives and he licks the books and he consumes the knowledge within. You could
Allegedly.
decide
Why some of the
everything
books are empty?
about corn and wheat and grapes and probably other useful stuff as well. And I think, like, since you're so fond of knowledge, you could try to summon him.
Yeah, he said we tried to get
I
him
thought
here,
it was kind
but...
of fun to talk to as well.
Do you think he will be in the same location? I'd really like to take a nap.
He did say that he would stay there, so we just thought it would be very important to come back here, so we can take our time resting, and then we can probably, well, actually, Mr. Keeper, because I'm assuming he's in the same room. She's just gonna raise her voice and immediately wince as she forgot that she was keeping quiet for Evelyn. Sorry.
Fucking dying over there.
Hey, Keeper.
The keeper will. Sorry, I'm still trying to get this camera to work. The keeper will turn towards you and will say, "Yes."
Do you know a small purple individual by the name of Moto?
No.
What? All right. Fantastic.
Yo, show him the picture.
The horrible picture, according to
Oh,
you
yeah,
two.
my picture. In hand this notebook.
Hey,
Throwing the pencil at his forehead.
a creature walks into the light.
What?
Oh,
Is it
Oh
Moto?
fuck! What the hell is that? Is that a knocker?
Where?
Oh, chill, everyone.
Where? What?
You want some bread?
You will see a small, kind of gremlin-looking, demonic-looking creature. It has no eyes and instead has a rune on its forehead. It doesn't look exactly like the picture, but it's what I had for quick reference. I'll have an artist do it later. Moto will then walk up, and he's holding a dagger, not in a threatening manner, but kind of like it grosses him out. You drop this.
Oh my god, how clumsy of me. Thank you.
You're welcome. He just leaves it on the ground.
This is the guy.
Yeah. That's Moto, by the way.
Bump.
Hi, Moto.
I don't see a
Are you a
circle
knocker?
Am I a what?
A knocker.
What's a knocker?
Tommy knocker.
I am male.
Well, what? I'm just asking if you're a goblin now. Like, that, is that the correct one? I'm trying to remember what I overheard. You want some bread?
Can I speak to someone else?
Sabeiro, if you don't mind. Is he here? I looked at your...
Yeah,
is he
he's
here?
right there. Look at him.
Okay.
I don't see him.
Yeah, I might have to refresh.
You guys don't see
just-
him? Oh, hold on.
No.
I see him.
No.
I had to refresh, I suppose.
Let me do a quick refresh. Sierra walks into a wall to talk to the wall.
That's weird.
He's just like a small version of me, basically.
Okay. Sierra will walk up to the small creature, and she won't necessarily bend down to get on his height, but she does try to make herself not look like she's towering over him. And she will introduce herself. My name is Sera. Are you this Moto I've been hearing about?
Yeah, my name's Moto. You must be the, scholarly one. I like the cut of your jib.
Indeed. I understand you like knowledge.
I mean, I like knowledge as much as the next person, I suppose.
How long have you been here in this amphitheater?
Difficult to say. Few years, couple months. Who knows?
Is time important to you? The passage of it?
No, because I am immortal, so
All right.
doesn't really mean anything to me.
How do you feel about the creatures who currently inhabit the amphitheater?
You mean
the silent?
You mean the silent?
Yes.
Oh, I think they're awful. They just run around stitching people's mouths shut, burning things. It's not good. In fact, if it wasn't for that night, they probably would have taken care of the whole archive. Speaking of which, that knight is dead. So, that's not good.
Ah, so the silent may be plotting. Understood.
Yeah. I mean, most likely they went to their queen or whatever.
A queen? Is there a gender? We've only heard of their master.
Oh, I say queen because that's what I've heard them refer to her as. I suppose it could be male.
Wait, you heard them?
Well, when I say hear them, I mean he points to his head. Hear them. And then he closes his mouth and speaks in your mind. Because I can do this. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Even better. I can do this.
Whoa.
Sera, who's never had a familiar foe, will grimace, but she will say back in her mind, have you worked with a wizard before?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Are you currently working with one?
No. I am unemployed.
Are you looking for employment?
That depends. How much are you paying? Well, if we're going to have a discussion about this, he'll snap his fingers and a small little desk will pop up.
So cute.
He'll make a little seat. He'll take a seat. He'll pull out.
I wish I was level 3 so I could get my own.
He pulls out a quill and ink and he dabs it and he starts writing out a contract. He will then pull out a pair of glasses and put them over his head, even though he doesn't need them.
Sera will wait patiently.
He'll start writing it out. He'll angrily scribble out a word and replace it with another one.
Sera tries to take a peek, but she is very patient.
There we are. The keeper seems amused by this and doesn't say anything. Eventually, Moto will finish writing out the contract and will offer it to you. Standard familiar contract. Please give it a read. So, I get to explain how familiars work in Conflux.
Yes, please.
So, normally, when you summon a familiar in Verum, I roleplay it and all that, and I put a lot of work and effort into the familiars, but this time around I wanted to take a different approach. I wanted them to be far more powerful of a resource to use, because familiars and also animal companions are going to be way more powerful this time around, because I always thought it was weird that ultimately, if I didn't actually have an interference with them, the familiars were not that big of a deal at all. Like, they didn't really matter. So, one of the things that will be different this time around is that familiars will be a sustainable force. And what I mean by that is that they actually will have, they'll have hit points in a way. They're not going to have true hit points. Essentially, they have a number of times that they can be reconstituted after they're destroyed. And they're destroyed if they're hit or they take any damage at all. But there's something else to keep in mind. Each familiar will have a like a secondary resource pool that you can draw from when you chant in order to cast spells and augment them.
What?
So essentially, every familiar has different augmentations, kind of like meta magics that they offer for spells.
Nice.
Coming back a little bit, a number of times they can be reconstituted. I'm hearing that as they can only die a certain amount of times. I don't think that was right. Could you explain that again?
Okay, so normally when a familiar is destroyed, they don't come back until you take a long rest. In this case, you can bring them back with a short rest a number of times equal to 1 day. Like, it's like, I believe Moto has 3 times he can come back. And then after that, he's gone until a long rest occurs.
Got it. 3 times before long rest is required. Okay, so he can maybe take like a hit, and then I can summon him again after a... Okay.
Anyway, so essentially the contract, we'll go over the specifics in a second. So the contract that he offers Sera is pretty straightforward, and now we're going to talk about how familiars work. To enlist a familiar to your service, you have to sign a pact or a contract of some kind. As Moto is a devil, his are written contracts, and they're very professional, and they're like lawyers essentially. These are his requirements. His requirement is that in order to maintain his service, at least once every week, you have to supply him a bit of knowledge for him to supple upon. So essentially, you have to constantly be searching for new pieces of knowledge in which to share with him. This happens.
It must be new. It can't be something.
It must be something new that you did not know. It doesn't matter if he knows it or not. It's about whether or not you know it.
Okay.
And the reason is because the act of you finding new knowledge is growth that he feeds off of. Because Moto is a devil that feeds off of potential. And that's how knowledge works for him. So you have to try and learn something new at least once a week. Now, that being said, if you are in an extreme situation that you can't get access to knowledge, like you're trapped in a jail cell, Moto is able to extend that contract as long as he wishes to forgiveness. So that doesn't mean like your week's up and he disappears. If he likes you, he'll stick around. But the point of the contract is that after a week and you have not supplied him with any knowledge, he's there because he wants to be, not because he has to be. So if you piss him off, he'll just leave.
In general? I got it.
He's contractually obligated to be there even if he doesn't like you or your paths no longer mesh well.
If I continue to give him knowledge.
If you give him knowledge. So that's how the contract works. The contract means that you can have a familiar that doesn't like you and that you don't like, but that is useful to you as long as you fulfill your end of the contract. However, if a familiar likes you, they may stick around.
To terminate a contract, does it expire after a week?
No. Well, it expires if a week goes by and you haven't held up your end of the bargain, then the contract is null and void, or the two of you can decide to end your contract.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's pretty open, as Moto is a pretty simple type of guy. Now, that being said, as you continue to level, you can actually augment your contract, which will increase your familiar's power. Now, this is something known as ascendancy. So your familiar can actually become more powerful, but they will have larger requirements in order to fuel the magic that sustains them. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Okay. Is that something I would actively do? Like I would evolve it like a Pokemon? Like I would state.
I mean, that is a good way of looking at it. It is like evolving, but that's something that's like a quest you have to take in order to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a...
So an intentional setting out.
That's less about you have to be this level to do that. That's okay, you are of the sufficient level to use this story reasoning in order to ascend them. So this can be like let's say it was a demon, you could feed them the blood of a child, for example, to, evolve them.
Okay.
Like a princess or something. It's like big stories. I'm sorry, I'm so sick.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Dude, it's all good.
Big story stuff, essentially. For Moto, specifically, finding grand knowledge, something truly significant, can ascend him.
Okay.
Alright. Time to research.
Is it Moto with an X? I see his token doesn't have an X.
That was a joke. It's Moto. It's Moto as it's spelled. He just said X because he was fucking with this person he doesn't know. So now I can talk about that. Familiars have different personalities, and I will play them as their personality depicts. So sometimes you might do something they don't like, and even though they are contractually obligated to help you and assist you in combat and be there, they are not contractually obligated to be totally cool about it.
Sure.
So one of the things, and this is something that people that have played with me are used to, I have a certain level of surliness and sassiness with the minions and monsters and familiars and companions I have. So essentially he's got a mouth on him, and he's going to let you know about it.
I think that'll help this party.
Specifically, to help you out, he is beholden only to you, not the party. So that's something to keep in mind. And the final bit of information, there is one axiom, meaning, antithesis, meaning that if you do this, he will leave.
Okay.
Period. So there's one thing he will not allow you to do, and that is destroy knowledge.
Is that me or anything in the vicinity?
That is you specifically are destroying knowledge, or your party is destroying knowledge, and you're not stopping them.
Okay. And Sera isn't taking action.
The key word there is purposefully. So if it happens on accident, that doesn't mean he'll guaranteed leave, but he'll be angry with you. Remember that a lot of this is like a relationship. It's a personal thing that you'll develop over time. Mechanically speaking, though, those are his contractual voidings, so that he can leave. So if you just suddenly randomly decide to start destroying knowledge, he's not
My character takes a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, he's not gonna stick around. So.
Okay, got it.
But anyway, there you go.
I'm very excited. I have one question before I go back in character.
Yeah.
You had mentioned last week that there was a couple I could pick from.
There is. You don't have to pick Moto, just to be clear.
Okay.
There are others that are available. Now, whether or not you'll meet them, it's possible that you could go the exact different direction. But familiars have to be encountered unless you know their true name, which you can research true names in the archive to find them if you wish. So you don't have to go with Moto. Moto was just the one that was here. He was the one that was literally here.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So that's the contract.
Looks pretty standard from what I can tell. No obvious loopholes.
You know, a lot of people give devils a bad name. They think they're always trying to cheat them. What they don't realize is that devils don't need to cheat you. You'll cheat yourself. You have any idea how many people I've seen give in to their baser needs? Oh, it's ridiculous. Succubi make a killing.
She'll give a small frown thinking about how her rash decision cost her life previously. All right. Shall we proceed? I would think I would enjoy working with you. We're both in pursuit of knowledge.
Oh, you wish to sign the contract?
Yes.
Bully! He'll pull out a dagger and put it on his little desk.
Sera will go for her... I'm picking out which one. Her right arm. She'll make a small slit. She will sign her name. She only knows her first name. She will sign Sera.
I'll take a look at that. All right. He'll then kind of stab his hand and slap it on the paper. The contract glows with a bright red light. And the tattoo on his forehead changes to your personal sigil, whatever it may be.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I don't have one, but I will probably go get one.
Well, it's your mage's mark. So, if you don't have one, whatever it is that you end up choosing is what it becomes. And
Cool.
and on your right or left hand, your choice, appears the same sigil, marking you as bonded.
It'll be her left. Her book holding hand.
God. So be it. Congratulations, you have gained Moto, the familiar.
Ah, so excited!
Moto
Would you like to look at my notes?
Moto possesses 2 different augmentations.
Okay.
The first is he grants advantage to any Arcana that he has already encountered. So, any Arcana check on a subject that he knows about, you get advantage on that roll.
Wow. Okay.
And the second one
Nice.
is he can augment your attack spells with a +1 to attack.
Is that with chant or is that just in general?
That's if you use chant.
Okay. Augmentations on chant. Alright. Got it.
Oakley dokley.
Alright. So we'll retreat to
Oh,
her seat.
hold on. This next part gets kind of weird. I'm in your mind, your memories. All right,
Sera will
we're melded
twist
now.
around a little bit. And she will ask in her mind, do you remember anything that I don't? I seem to have a very foggy memory of my previous life.
No. It's kind of like you're a pie that's not cooked yet.
That is exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
A squishy apple pie.
Yeah. Yeah. Just leaves. Well, looks like I'm saddled with you. Hold on, I have to pack my thing. He will pick up a piece of string and put it in his, mouth. All right, I'm good.
All right. Would you like to review my notes? She'll start to pull out her notebook from the last...
Sure. He'll put his head into the book. Looks good to me.
All right.
All right, well, you can give control of Moto to Lolly so that he can be moved by her.
Oh, what a little cutie.
I love Moto.
Sera will sit back down where she is. She's too enthralled with her new companion. She'll sit back down and she'll be going through all of the notes she's been... Have we been here for 16 hours in game?
Yep.
Her 16 hours of notes. She's really ready to take that sleep.
Okay, does the party wish to rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
Long rest. 8 hours pass. You're all restored to full hit points and strength.
Woohoo! 24 hours in game.
During this time, Moto will help keep watch. He will summon a weenie and a small fire on his palm, and he will cook it.
Oh.
And then he will eat it. Sausage.
Do we also get our burden back?
Yes.
Hey,
I
Albert.
don't ever
Oh,
want
fuck,
to play
he's big.
cards with you again.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're not really good at it, huh? You know, I have a dice game that we could play next time.
Alright then.
The keeper will then look and see that you're all received your strength back, and he will say, I shall attend to the font.
Alright, you know where I can find a kitchen or something? I'm hungry.
He will shake his head that he does not remember.
Right, exploration for some breakfast.
Right.
All of you, do we want to fan out or travel as a group?
Evelyn
I will
will
follow
do a
you.
double take at this creature.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, you
This
were
is
asleep
Modo.
last night.
Well, trying to.
Our new companion.
Moto will turn and look at Evelyn. What?
Look,
She shrugs.
speaks your
and-
language.
Hey Moto, do you know where a kitchen might be?
Yeah.
Where?
By chance, could you take us there or give us some
Oh,
directions?
you want me to take you there?
I mean, I have a
Sure.
map. You could point it out for us.
Are you hungry, Moto?
No, I had a weenie. I'm good.
Hmm.
Sorry.
I have one.
Calling them weenies makes me laugh.
It makes me laugh too.
I believe that the kitchen's in the east wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Although we probably shouldn't go in there.
Why?
Why?
Well, you know.
The silent.
No, not the silent.
Is it dirty?
No, it's haunted.
Oh!
Oh, we can't go in there then. Sorry.
What? Okay.
Are you afraid of ghosts, Sabeiro?
I'm not saying that I'm afraid of
I mean, he
ghosts.
should be. Ghosts are... Wow. Have you seen what a ghost can do? They suck your life force out of you, they move through walls.
Right,
Ghosts are
rations
real,
then.
so don't
Ay.
People have gone down into the mines and they have not returned, and I'm pretty sure that they were taken to some random plane of existence that I don't want to go to, even if it's in the kitchen.
I mean, yeah.
So,
Hmm.
let me get this straight. You made a demon pact while I was asleep?
Excuse me, you white-haired witch. I am not a demon. I am a devil.
I'll
Stephen Walker.
rephrase my question then to that.
And not a pact, it's a contract. We don't do pacts, I'm not a changeling. Or some of those weird fae. Did you know that some of the fae kiss? It's so strange.
Sera will give a wink to Evelyn.
Could you imagine? Oh, please serve me, my lady. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
This is
I
a
much prefer
professional
looking good.
environment.
We,
Like
yes,
him.
that's
This is a
Enlightening.
professional environment. Sorry.
Sabeiro, if you're afraid to go to the east, we could try the west wing.
Well, he said
we-
that the kitchen was in the...
Oh, the West Wing's even worse.
Should we
What's
prioritize?
in the West Wing?
Why?
Oh, the West Wing's where all the silent are.
Oh, that's better than
Oh.
ghosts.
Well, I mean, not all of them. I mean, I think the Queen's in the gardens, but...
Is here? Wait, actually, like they're. Oh. I was assuming they weren't in the amphitheater.
No, they are. They're not here because of the night, but now the night's dead, so... You know, they're probably going to be coming through here pretty soon. Finish off the rest, you know, burn everything.
Hey,
That's just lovely.
great.
Great.
What do we want more?
Yep.
Breakfast
That's what we like
or
to...
exploring?
That's like what we...
Oh.
Yeah.
I got some covered. I got some jerky.
I'll get some rations from the thing. Make some oatmeal, I suppose, for all of us.
I'll come with you. I need to get some new clothes that don't have holes in them.
Ooh, I can help you pick out something nice.
Oh, wait, will you?
Yeah. Do the rest of you want to come?
My kimono does have a few embers in it. And I need to...
I'm great at stitching.
Moto cast mending. There you go.
Never mind.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Sera looks very pleased.
Can't have you
Everyone
walking
looks
around with
very
holes in your
jealous.
robe. We infernal. We have a saying in Infernal. That's totally not poggers.
It's very unprofessional. Wink.
Infernals is Twitch speak.
You guys coming?
For what?
Company? Okay. We'll be quick.
Do you like oatmeal, Moto? We're apparently getting some.
Oatmeal? What is oatmeal?
Carbohydrates.
Well, that's a really redacted way of answering that question. Sure, give me carbohydrates.
I'll get you a serving.
Okay. This isn't carbohydrates, this is bread soup.
So, was I mistaken in that thinking that Sera was a wizard? Is she a warlock? I say this out loud.
Yet to be seen.
Moto will look over at Evelyn and well, he doesn't have eyes to roll, so he'll conjure ghostly ones and then roll them.
Alright, look, I just woke up to the side of you. Maybe I'm just not used to you yet.
Yeah, because everybody that has a demon is a warlock. That's just prejudice. What are
Maybe
you,
it is.
classist?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to things like owls and rabbits and other kinds of familiars that wizards usually
Oh, I'm
get.
sorry. Am I not cute enough? Maybe if I had Ferb, little tiny bunny rabbit. What is she, a princess? Get your head out of the fairy tales. This is real life.
Wow. I'm being lectured on real life. This is rich.
You asked.
I shouldn't have.
He'll start reading a book. Meanwhile, back in the changing room.
Hey, Adam, curious question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run the bathroom.
Would I be able to find studded here or no?
Studded? Yeah.
Oh, I could have had one extra AC this entire time. Get studded little armor, but your rations and pout, pout, pout. Dun, 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 dun.
There has to be some kind of village nearby.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be difficult. I think our main priority should be clearing this island first.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving this place otherwise.
We're back.
I'll get to cooking this real quick. Plop.
Emoto,
Yeah.
the room the knight was in.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Well, that's... The room the knight was in leads to the eastern wing. Wait, or is it the
What?
western? Hold on.
The west.
Let me use my brain.
That'd be the west, right?
It was to the west.
Yes, the western wing, excuse me.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, that's where all the Silent are. They were fighting him. Or they... Well, technically they had captured him. It's weird.
By chance, did you know his name?
No.
Do you know if there's some ledger, in the archives that has everyone's names or no?
Something like that'd be in the barracks.
Barracks, alright, we like to keep it sad. Where's the barracks on the map?
Hold on.
Here, I'll show it to you.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, I mean, if holding the map out might jog your memory, here.
He'll look at the map. Oh, it's in the eastern wing.
Okay, so that's in these too.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice that they kept the barracks near the kitchen.
Oh, I mean, soldiers get hungry.
Aren't we meant to just research more?
Well, having a proper kit.
Well, I mean, you
What
could
should we research?
I mean, you could research, but I mean, the more time you spend, the Silent are gonna come. That night is dead. They're gonna come through here and start burning everything.
Yeah, I believe we should fortify the archives, if anything. Or...
Up to you. I'm just here to help Sera, conjure another weenie.
Do you guys think that they have some sort of... I mean, like, if they have a queen, do you think that there's a nest?
Are you applying their bugs?
I'm back.
I mean...
They're not...
A base of operations, if you wanted to be more politely put.
Albert, did you want to see what was behind that curtain? I remember you wanted to
Oh,
guess.
yes. That is true.
It's just outside the door. Should we start there?
I also want to peek this inside the room with the knight.
Did you say
They're
you wanted to
probably-
peeksies?
He sure did.
You want to
I
take a
sure
little
did.
peeksy doodles?
Peekaroonie?
I suppose there isn't any door left. Either
Maybe
way.
we should peek behind the door with a
Just
Here,
walk
Moto.
right by.
door lock
Carbohydrates
change.
in the form of oatmeal.
Oh, that reminds me. I can assume a travel form if you'd like.
Oh? What does it look like?
He turns into a purse.
Oh my god.
Alright, that's pretty fun.
Do you prefer to walk, or would you like to be carried?
What do you think?
I think you like to walk.
Oh, no, please carry me.
Alright. She'll pick him up. Does it have a long strap? Like, is this an over-the-shoulder?
It's adjustable.
Okay. She'll hang it crosswise across her chest, hanging on the hip.
Nice.
Does his little rune is at the front of it?
Yep.
It's glowing. Oh, it's so cute.
Let's see.
Shall we?
To
Let's
where?
go.
Oh, we're eating and walking. All right.
No time to lose. The silence will be upon us soon.
Thank you for the oatmeal.
Right. Yeah, I suppose if we get jumped, I can just throw this hot bowl in someone's face.
All right. Some out of character stuff here. You can get to choose how to spend your time. You can attempt to explore one of the other wings, or you can research in the archive. Please keep in mind that every bit of past time will be tracked, and the world doesn't stop because you're not doing anything, or because you're doing something that isn't moving. You get what I mean? Time moves forward. Things can happen.
Is it a hard or? Like, if we get a book from the archives and I give it to Moto, does that count? Not truly concurrently, but can we make a little bit of progress on researching?
Researching is an all or nothing type of endeavor.
Okay.
Well,
got it.
okay,
Hard or.
I shouldn't say that. It's you can make progress to research something, so you can start and then stop and then continue. But it's done in increments of days.
I think the question is also, can Moto assist and cut down our research time a little bit?
He's already... Okay, so...
So you said that researching is a group thing, so
Yes,
is he counted as a group now?
That is correct. Yes,
Okay.
he's counted as a part of that. So the time cost to research something considers all party members.
Nice and nice.
Okay. And we did get earlier from the keeper, he knows where stuff is, so if we're looking for something specifically, he should be able to direct us, because we were in the gardening section looking for a familiar, so that should also
Well,
help a little bit.
that was more of a reference of you can ask the keeper what questions could be answered.
I see. Okay, so he's got a list, and we could... Okay.
Essentially, it keeps you from wasting your time on a question you can't answer here.
Got it. That's nice. He's our Google.
I would assume The silent don't spend days getting here.
Yes, do we want to take a vote on what we do?
It's completely up to you guys.
Are we going to the archives and then on the way to the archives pulling back that curtain to satisfy Albert's curiosity?
Yes. Mm.
My vote is explore.
I say
Really?
explore.
Yeah. Wait, Sera wants to explore?
I got my familiar.
The
I'm good
hell?
to roll for a while.
That's true.
I got 1 week to find something new.
I'm a bit
We-
concerned about the silent will come back and set fire to the archives kind of thing.
Me too. We can explore in the archives. They did disappear through the north.
All right, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Hey, Moto. How long do you think the silent will be here?
They
Until
live
the
here.
silent will be here. I mean, until.
I don't know.
I love that he's a purse.
How long would it take to walk across the entire amphitheater?
I don't know. How fast are you?
30 feet in 6 seconds. No big deal.
You talking in your mind, or are you just talking to yourself, Albert?
Wait, what? You guys can't hear him?
No.
Sera will give Albert a smile.
When I talk with
understand.
when I talk with the Echo, he's using telepathy.
Yeah, that's why Roxanne is poking.
Like for example, when he's a purse.
Like the flap of the purse don't like
Alright.
bob 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 bob.
Turn on your echo, Albert.
Oh wait, do you think this leads to the back of the?
I don't have echo.
Oh.
I'm apparently
An
not
open
allowed
door?
to open random doors anymore. So if you want to do the pleasure, Sabeiro.
Moto, are you familiar with this door? Or Sabeiro, is this on our map?
I could check.
Let's check first. Opens to a supply
Consulting
closet.
the map.
I'm gonna put her ear against the door, hear if there's anything behind it.
As it just so happens,
Okay.
that door leads to the backstage where that curtain would have taken you.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's why I was
Alright,
just like,
fast
"Ooh."
track.
Well, well, well.
Oh, I was good at vessels. Okay. Just open the door.
All right, inside
Oh,
you
the-
see the backstage, filled to the brim with mannequins.
Vessel
Oh.
says, I don't like mannequins.
Fuck this.
Hundreds of mannequins, some hanging from the ceiling,
Ugh.
others on the ground, some positioned in various costumes and uniforms and outfits. As you use vessel sense, make me a perception check with advantage, please.
Yo.
Nice.
You sent, you sense danger ahead, Roxanna.
Sabeiro.
Okay,
Sorry.
fine.
She's just gonna say, I sense danger ahead, and she's gonna back the fuck up.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick while you guys decide what to do.
Let's just back up here.
Albert.
Albert, there, yep.
Hmm?
Yeah, get in here. Get in the
Out.
safe room.
I would like to finish
What's
my
going on?
oatmeal before we go fight anything. Please and thank you. As she just starts slurping.
I would prefer we not fight anything.
Should we just leave it there?
If we're fighting something, it's something that should be in our way.
Actually, you know, I want to bring up a point. Before, when I was the door that the knight was being kept on, I felt like it was a bit ominous. Here, this feels dangerous, but when you think about it, in what sort of regard, you know? Like, dangerous towards us, dangerous in general? Like, I thought ominous meant that it'd be dangerous towards us, but it's, you know, what happened to it, actually, you know? Maybe we won't particularly provoke it.
I'm back.
I'm not sure.
I'm not willing to hedge our bets on that.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't wanna-
also, now what were you gonna say, Evelyn?
I'm just saying I don't want to end up in a fight because of our base curiosity.
More importantly, if it's been fine here after we fought out there where the front stage is, and it remained here, that means that it probably doesn't care right now. And we should probably mosey.
Yeah.
I guess we could wait.
All right. One day you'll have a dress, Albert.
One day.
You'll take the stage. You're gonna shine, kid.
Thanks, Sabeiro.
So you guys
Yes,
turn.
everybody.
So you turn away from the backstage.
Correct.
Yep.
And we close the door behind us
Close
as
the
well.
door.
Okay.
We shall do that at a later date.
All right. What are you guys gonna do then?
We're heading to the archives, I suppose.
We wanted to
Right?
explore
Yep.
in the archives that we had already found because we saw the silent leave in a way that we don't know yet, so we want to
Sure.
go that direction.
The do a pixies inside the night room.
Oh yes, sorry, that first.
What?
We
Pixies
do
in the night room.
pixies in the night room.
Pixies are dangerous. We've established this.
Hey, no, we
It's
survived this
gonna be
pixies.
fine.
I could just sense of it.
All right.
It's a
Well,
little
to
peak.
kind of help you guys along, the archives is essentially the crossroads of the amphitheater. So there is a door that takes you to the western wing, the eastern wing, to the foyer, and there's also a second floor that you could go to.
Wow.
In the archives.
Could you list all that again? I wasn't typing fast enough.
There is the eastern wing, the western wing, the foyer,
Mm-hmm.
and the second floor.
Okay, 5 options. Got it.
Yeah.
Options.
So the archives, more or less, just to be clear, you've cleared it out. While using the archives, you explore them. There's no new items or anything to find. There's just to use it as you just use it as the research source.
Oh.
So exploring means basically everywhere we haven't been.
Yeah.
We pick a direction.
So you can either go to the eastern wing, the western wing, the foyer, or to the second floor.
The foyer probably goes to the gardens, which is where the queen is.
I don't want to mess with the
No, the western wing leads to the...
Oh, we did. Sorry.
Yeah, it was western.
Western goes to gardens.
That's where the pixies goes.
So western wing goes to gardens, which probably has the queen.
Yeah, I would rather pixies anywhere else.
What a pixies
Yeah.
backstage again?
No. Can we just go to the books? Make sure the silent are already... make sure they're not there.
It's established that this is a safe zone, right?
For now, yes.
Yeah, for now. So we don't need to clear out the...
It's been 8 hours since we were in those archives. We might as well go up there.
Yeah, and if there's any entrances that the silent can come in, might as well barricade them, you know?
Or if you can.
second floor.
You know, I'm curious. We had our introductions, but
Nikki, go ahead
You
and move
still don't
everybody
really-
to the first floor and just put them in the middle of the staircase with a light on them. Or just at one of the tables. It doesn't really matter because they're in a safe zone. Like you can put them
You know,
here.
Moto, I do have a question for you. This pertains towards something that I view of relative importance since we haven't really had a chance to use this key, but apparently it leads to further into the archives. Would you know where the key would go?
A key. Let me look at it.
Roxanna, could you possibly show him the key?
Would you like to lick it?
Well, yeah.
sure, it wasn't like I was saying anything. And she's just gonna take out her key.
All right. Well, he'll put it in his mouth. He'll just suck on it like a sucker.
Why did you offer that?
Told you it was like a lollipop.
He might know something that we don't.
I'll hand it back to you.
I'm gonna take it with a handkerchief. Yeah,
Well,
what's the point of that?
Well, that's the key to the keeper's chest.
The what now?
The
Run that
keeper's
by me
what?
again?
Yeah, the keeper's chest. I also think it might open the armory.
Okay.
Hey.
Where's this chest you speak of?
Well, the keeper's chest is supposed to have, all the orders directly from the Taladonic lords. Plus the keeper's personal stash of magic items and, things like that.
Where can we find it?
Where's that?
Seer's non-eyebrows shoot up.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly where it is, but it is kind of like a known thing that keepers hide their accoutrements, I guess you might say. Most likely it's hidden somewhere and you have to find it. Unfortunately, the keeper seems to have lost his mind and can't tell you where it is. Curious. Although, he'll then look at the key again and give it a little lick. And then he'll say, I think it might be in the armory.
Sabeiro,
So
Where's
to
the
the
armory?
east.
What about the armory?
where was that? And did that have the blacksmith? Wasn't there a blacksmith we were looking for?
Oh, the armory's in the west. The western wing.
The blacksmith, from what I remember, is in the foyer.
Ah, all right.
I get the feeling that
He'll kind of look. I don't think it's in the foyer.
The blacksmith?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, where is he?
I think it's in the west. I mean, I don't know for certain. I mean, I haven't explored the whole place constantly, but the armory's in the west, so that's probably where it is, if it is there. Although, to be honest, I haven't seen a blacksmith, and I've kind of been around. It's possible the Silent could have gotten to them already.
Unfortunate.
that is tragic.
That was gonna be another instance like the night then.
Are those... I don't think we're meant to fight those people, right? Just the Silent.
Which people?
People like
Well,
the night.
the only one we managed to get out alive successfully was a fight where apparently the Silent were afraid of such person.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty much anyone who isn't Silent, we shouldn't even be concerned about.
Why are you on the table?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Anyway, we're supposed to be looking for something. I'm gonna see if there's anything about the keeper somewhere in here.
Alright, as I said, you guys get to choose. You
yeah,
can, you
we
can
should-
research.
We need to research that
You can
officially.
explore stuff.
I'm
whatever
kind of
you
leaning towards the west now, to be honest.
I
That seems like there's a lot of
The
stuff in the
west
Western Wing.
the west seems pretty juicy. Not gonna
I'm sorry
lie.
about my dog, guys. I've been muting. My dog's been going nuts. I got a package.
It's cool, I've been coughing my body to death.
I'm gonna check the perimeter. That's a wall. Gonna check the perimeter.
Do you need any assistance?
Yeah, that'll be great. I just want to make sure we don't get ambushed while we're studying. Also, can we study about the Silent while we're here?
Are we studying or are we exploring? I thought we were exploring.
I thought we were.
Well, don't we have
I
to
thought
make
we
sure
were
that
studying.
that we're gonna explore the archives while we're here?
Then let's explore the archives.
You have to choose to do one or the other.
Exploring.
You guys are confusing.
We have 4 options on where we can go, Jace. That's what Arcadum's asking us. Which direction do we want to go? We have 4 options.
I thought
Or
we were making
study.
sure that the Silent don't burn down the archives, and so we're gonna make sure we know what the archives look like. Because didn't you say that they literally ran off and disappeared somewhere?
Yeah, they ran off to the north.
Yeah, so we were gonna check the north.
To the second floor, which
So we
was
are
one of our
exploring.
options. We're exploring the second floor, maybe.
So we're going
Okay.
to the north.
Yes.
What we probably want to do then is check our map
Northeast.
and see what connects north from these archives.
Alright, so once more, with feeling. To the north takes you to the foyer.
Okay.
There's the
North
second
from
second
the
floor of the archive where you currently are. There is the eastern wing and there is the western wing.
Okay. So if we go north, we're going to the foyer, guys. Which is where we saw the Silent probably run from. Or run to.
And we're just going to follow them.
I just want to make sure that like the door is closed, or if we could just not just ignore me, I suppose.
What?
It's whatever you guys want to do.
Nobody's ignoring you. I'm looking where you're going. Where are you going?
I don't know what we're doing. Just want to make sure.
We voted for exploration, so now we can vote for where we're gonna explore, right?
Yep.
So we got the second floor, we got the west wing, we got the east wing, and
I think what Jace is trying to accomplish is where we're not going. Jace wants to make sure that those doorways are probably barricaded. Is that fair,
Yeah.
Jace?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm. But then we need to decide where we're going first.
All right. Well, as you move towards the northern door, you can see that it is an enormous set of gilded oaken wooden doors.
Let me get myself up there.
In addition to that, it seems that this door is currently closed. It is not locked.
Does it have a lock on this side?
Well, I mean, there's the bars on this side, like the wooden bars you could put down, but the bars are not there. But there is the place for them.
Hey, Sabeiro, can you do me a favor?
What's all this dirt?
Yeah, what do you need?
That is soot.
From the fire?
I'd like to investigate the soot. Has it been disturbed before our own footprints?
It has been disturbed. There are footprints leading to the north, but not leading back.
How many sets of footprints, please?
About as many of the side that there were before.
Okay, so we know this is where they went.
Or at least some of them.
And one of them was on fire, so perhaps this is their body.
One of them was on fire.
Sera will step back. She doesn't want to get dirty.
Sabeiro is in his element.
He rolls around.
He just starts rolling around, yeah.
I gotta cover myself in it.
Dust bath.
You have to acclimate.
Do we want to go north? This is the direction north. If not, let's barricade it.
That's what I was trying to discuss. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go get something to actually, like, block this up.
Yeah, some
All right.
wood.
Wasn't there like wood?
The bar is missing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could like break apart a bookshelf, or maybe it's just misplaced somewhere. You
Okay.
guys wouldn't mind if I peek? Okay.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Could you do, like, the eye thing?
Yeah, I wanted to peek season and vessel sense.
Okay. Let's hold on a second, please.
Does PCs require opening the door?
Yes.
What?
Do you really want to open the door? That we know Silent are somewhere behind.
All right.
Yeah.
A very large door that is very loud when opened.
Make me a stealth check to open that big ass door.
Yes.
That'll work. Man, how would I do this, peaks wise? I'm trying to think how I would do this in Foundry. I guess just copy paste her token on the edge. Yeah. I think. Copy paste his token. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Yeah.
We should have a counter every time I open a door and there's immediate death on the other side.
0 for 2.
That needs to be on the bingo card.
Bingo card. Jace opens a door and almost dies.
Okay, I'm just gonna. There we go. And then we do this. Oh, can you put the chat room vision down, Nikki?
Welcome to the foyer. We got fun and games.
All right. That is what you see on the other end. Whenever you load.
Glorious black screen.
Well, are you still loading or?
Still loading.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I see this
big purple bar. Not sure. It's slowly filling up over time.
What drinks do they serve at this bar?
Oh, I see.
All right, that is what you see when you peek through the door.
Oh.
Perception check, because you're using vessel sense.
Yeah. Not 20. 23.
Okay, you do not hear or see any danger or the sign of anything moving inside. Although, you think that you hear very faintly in the distance the sound of wind.
Oh. Okay. And I'll, close door, look back to the group, and she's going to explain, right, so it actually looks like there's more of the archive there. I saw books and stuff. There's more research that we can get there. And there doesn't seem to be anyone in the room. I don't hear any silent about. But I do hear some wind up north. It's far, though.
Alright. Well, let's try to get the research that we can do in here first.
Sera's gonna ask in her mind Modo, have you tasted the knowledge on the other side of this door?
A little bit. It's kind of dangerous on the other side, though.
What topics were over there?
There was a lot about the different factions. There's also a lot of
Conflux.
Yes, there's a lot of recent history too.
Sera will share this with the group. The type of knowledge that's on the other side of the door.
Recent history would be very useful, wouldn't it?
It is what the Keeper suggested we look for as well.
Alright, and we would probably find research on the silent there.
Is this our new objective, then?
Oh, I would suggest it. What do you guys think? Be careful with the things on that shelf, Sabeiro.
Well, okay, so you want me to put them on, one of these tables?
Yeah, they might get in the way of you trying to break it apart.
No,
Albert, do you want to give him a hand?
Oh, sure. If we're not going through.
Are we? Is this a moot point to block it?
Okay, so now I can move on to the mechanics. So remember, time passing, all of that. You can choose to explore, you can choose to research, because of Roxanna's suggestion to barricade. You can also choose to barricade the doors if you wish. All of these things take time. Please decide as a party what you're going to do.
How much time to barricade, please?
It depends on what level of fortification you want.
Interesting.
I would suggest
to lock all the doors, be like an hour, which is the lowest form of fortification.
Just to lock them? Wow.
Well, with the wooden bars, yeah.
Okay. I would...
Go ahead.
Okay. I would suggest, seeing as that's where the recent history is and everything, we fortify every other entryway. And then, instead of barricading this door, we keep the plank what the boys are getting right now off to the side, and then do some exploring there, maybe clear out some silent if they come, just make sure it's secure, and if anything, if we need to retreat, we run back and we barricade it then. But we get the barricade in advance,
I like this plan. My one concern is the door to the western ring where the knight was previously locked with chains. Those chains are gone. It's been implied the silent will come. So if they come behind us, that could be very dangerous.
Oh yeah, we don't want to be choked.
One last piece of mechanic I should remind you of. Remember that if you barricade a door, you can also not open it. And you would need to clear the barricade in order to open it.
An hour up, an hour down.
Yeah. Oh, that's for minimal. That's just for barring the door.
So you can just fortify literally every single door, and we'll make this the new base of operations until we actually need something.
Yeah, I would agree on that.
If we proceed beyond this door, I would suggest we barricade the door the knight was on. I do not trust that the Silent will not come through there.
I completely agree.
Or we can barricade this door and proceed west.
If the Silent are to the west and the Knight was to the west and the door was barricaded, I would assume that the doors leading further west are also barricaded.
I would not assume that.
Say, let's prioritize barricading the western doors at least, since we know that's where they'll be coming from. And then systematically barricade the rest of them. And then, like Evelyn said, if we need something, then we could just unbarricade it. But it's best to be safe than sorry, I suppose.
We probably don't need to barricade the east, because
The
they're
ghosts.
just ghosts, and they haven't done anything yet.
They just go through the walls, if anything. Pretty sure barricades would be of no consequence to them.
Agreed. I think it is sound.
Are the Silent afraid of the ghosts?
Sera will ask Moto, again with her mind, she won't say it out loud. Were there Silent in the east, where the ghosts were, in the kitchen?
I've seen Silent everywhere.
She'll share with the group. Silent appear to be spread throughout this entire amphitheater.
Wow, they're
They do
dumb.
not seem to be afraid of the ghosts.
Or at least they were.
Thank you.
Alright, well, let's
Is a
just
purse.
Sera will pick a book up off of the shelf and she will put it inside her Moto purse.
I
Nice.
suppose we'll just get started.
Just
with
anything at
barricading.
random.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna get started on breaking down bookcases to use as
Got it.
barricades.
Which doors are you barricading?
Okay, so western doors first. How many
The
western?
following doors can be
places?
barricaded: west, east, and north.
West first, everybody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
West is where the knight is.
As you wish, you spend 1 hour passing forward to barricade the western door. The door is now barricaded. What would you like to do
Nice.
next?
Go north?
Yeah, so can we do the thing where we have the like barricade thing, but we don't set up the barricade for the north? Since it's the like wooden bar thing, we just had the wooden bar.
There is no
Next
fast
to the
way
door?
to do it. It's an hour not.
I don't think we barricade the north, guys, because we're going to go through there. So I wish we could do what Jace is proposing, where we have.
Yeah, I'm a bit
but-
confused. If anything.
Basically, what I'm gathering from what Jace wants us to do, which I agree that this is something that we could be able to do, because we're just getting the bar ready. We're not putting it on yet.
Yeah. Like to spend the hour to get the bar.
That-
but
that's
then not put it
basically
there.
that's basically the thing that like I'm gathering there. So
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I'm in.
Could we do that, Arcadum? Is that thing?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. An
banging.
hour doing it.
We prepare to barricade the door.
Yeah.
Okay, second hour passes. What do you do next?
And then we are barricading the east.
Mm-hmm. That's the last one that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Third hour passes. What do you do now?
The only
Now we
area
head
we
north?
haven't barricaded is the second floor, or we can go north through to the foyer. I vote going north, largely because I want to have a fight. But
Yeah, let's
Well, the second floor is just the second floor of the archives, right?
That's what you think, yeah. You haven't been there yet, though. It is one of the exploration options.
are we all?
We'll just
And we
Lord.
can't
We
barricade it.
can
so-
wait.
Yes, the second floor cannot be barricaded. You lack the materials.
Yep, we have 4 options. 3 of them are now. Well, 2 are barricaded. 1's ready to be barricaded, and 1 cannot be.
Alright, well, we can go through them.
All right,
North it is.
we have adjourned north.
So be it.
I suggest everyone be quiet. We're not sure if They came.
Could you transfer them, Nikki?
Sera will adjust her Moto purse. She's ready to go. Does it take a turn or anything for him to adjust to regular size?
It's an action.
Okay.
You have disadvantage.
Yeah, because he's got heavy armor.
Whoa.
His disadvantage is because he goes like this, shook, and when he moves.
I take it I have that as well because I wear medium.
Which medium are you wearing?
I'm wearing the breastplate.
I believe that is disadvantage, yeah. But you're doing group stealth, so everyone rolls.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Here's the bad news. I'm wearing scale mail. I'm pretty sure that's also.
You said breastplate?
Oh, breastplate is not disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So roll normal, Sabeiro.
I mean, the higher one was the 14, and that was the first roll, so it'd be 16 total then.
14? Alright.
Yep, so 16 total for that.
Ay,
It's not
Dios
like it
mío.
matters much.
Unfortunately, the average is like 10. So
I would like the vessel sense.
We all fall through the door, just grunting and screaming.
Sabeiro, surprisingly, is the quietest. Although he can't tell because all he hears is bang, bang, ow, fuck!
They fall down the stairs.
Oh, that reminds me of being back at the United Miners Front.
Sera falls on Moto the purse.
Oh!
Oh. The stairs much steeper than I thought. That's a really bad design.
Shukakalaka not poggers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not used to being quite so tall.
Alright, thankfully, nobody jumps out and stabs you in the eye.
Yeah.
The
So
genitals, however... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
No, my plums.
Poor shark.
My plumes!
He got me in the gonads.
Roll your perceptions.
Do I have time to ask Moto to transform back into...
Sure. He pops little legs and arms out of his purse and turns into a real boy.
What a
He
cutie.
turns into a real purse.
Oh, sorry, let me do my...
I am no longer an accessory. Now I'm an accessory to murder.
Moto's Gucci.
Ooh, I like that. Write that down.
Albert writes that down. What do we
Anything
see?
interesting, Moto?
No, I just read some really, really, really bad love poems.
Oh. Perhaps Albert would enjoy
An
this.
ode to the spit in my mouth, meant for you. Yeah, that was bad.
We'll save it for Albert.
You do not
later.
sense any danger.
I'm gonna check up north where I felt that draft.
I'm going with you.
An interesting rhyme
Yeah.
pattern. My palms
I'd like
are
to,
sweaty. My knees are weak. I have the long spaghetti.
I'd like to put light on myself, Nikki. I think, does it automatically do it? Maybe run over here and see if that worked. No, it doesn't. Okay.
Like, oh, we're all coming over here. Hello.
Thank you.
We really should move together.
Yeah, I agree.
As loud as we are and as bright as we are.
Sera will be following the fighters.
Peaky.
Where do you ask you piggyback ride for Sabeiro?
I would very much
No,
like
I
to
said
further...
Pixies, but are
I
you
thought you said-
offering?
I thought you said. Yeah.
Can you describe these chairs to me? Is that a skull?
Mecha Shiva.
Yeah, these are some ornately carved chairs. This seems to be like a meeting kind of area for nobles or perhaps VIP guests.
Is it grim looking, made out of bones, or is that
No, that's
something
carved.
else?
It's carved.
Okay, okay.
Door?
That is a door.
Door?
Oh, the
Sabeiro,
book.
where did these go on the
Excuse me.
map?
The book on the table
Yeah.
appears to be a chef's log.
What? Food!
Sera gives
Cookie.
Moto a leg up to give it a look.
Specifically, it's a list of food requirements for the amphitheater. They're actually quite robust. There was a lot of people apparently stationed here. In fact, you were able to find not their specific names, but at least how much food the amphitheater took. Let's see, a couple hundred bushels of wheat, several shipments of pigs and sheep, something called Greeka, and essentially about 200 to 300 people were fed and boarded at this amphitheater.
Oh, they had quite the stuff.
I mean, this is a theater. I guess actors have to, well, be fed like anyone else, really.
Oh, it's not actually that. Well, I mean, it is that kind of theater, but it's not that kind of theater.
How do you figure?
Well, it's an amphitheater. It's you know what an amphitheater is, right?
I am not a learned man.
All right. He jets up on the table. So you are correct that it is a theater. They did act out things, but they didn't do it for they did it for historical reasonings. So essentially, how this worked is that all sorts of knowledge was stored here on behalf of the Taladoni. This is the Ardent Amphitheater, so forge and craft and things of that were stored here. The theater aspect was to raise money for the theater, that it could maintain its people, and it did so by teaching the public different events in history through the acts of play.
So like a charity ball and lecture hall.
Something like that, yes. It was an educational foray in order to inform the public, entertain them, make a little money for the people that work and uphold the histories. It was actually a very good system. Well, until it all fell to shit.
I guess the silent were critics.
No, I don't think so.
Were you here during it all falling to shit?
No. Well, technically, I was possessing someone at the time.
I love Sera just saying, "Were you here when it fell to shit?" Just in like the no nonsense tone that she had.
Yes. Possessing. Do you recall who? Anyone of interest?
No, it was a scullery maid.
Indeed. Entertainment purposes?
Oh, no. It was a curse. Her fiance did not like her choosing another, so I was summoned, his soul was forfeit, he actually ended up immolating himself in protest, but the curse went through and I ended up possessing the scullery maid for like 2 years.
It sounds rather boring for you. I'm sorry to hear that.
Look, it was, except for one time when she actually married that other guy. That was funny.
Glad there was a silver lining.
There's nothing quite like making her voice deepen to my voice whenever they're in the middle of coitus.
So, Roxanna, do you sense any more danger yet?
I'm looking. I'm sorry. That's what Bird said. I'm trying to find out where I heard the wind from before.
Well, the wind would be coming from the north.
I want to look at this.
Oh, you want to look at that, do you? You want to look at that, do you? All right, that is a mighty water clock.
Excuse me, what?
So it's one of the ways that you can keep time.
Wait, go back. Let's go. Sera.
So you know how sand can be an hourglass? A water clock. A water clock is like an infinitely resupplying.
Oh, this is so cool! I just googled it.
Yep.
I've never heard of this.
Water
That's
clock.
so neat. Is it very heavy? It looks very heavy.
It's very heavy. Yeah.
Okay, so it stays here.
I mean, you could move it, but it would be with great difficulty.
Very heavy. Could be moved, but probably not worth it.
Yep, but it does keep very accurate time.
Is it calendar time? Like, do I know what month of day
It's time
year
of
it is
day
here?
time. It does not It does not have month or day. No.
Time of day only. All right.
What time is it?
It is currently 4 a.m.
We were up earlier.
Natural body clock, huh? Roxanna?
Yeah, that sounds like my sleep schedule.
All right, neat. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. Something about wind.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to make sure we're getting kept together. The wind draft, whatever I heard before. I just wanted to make sure we're safe in here to explore.
Maybe it was just the wind.
Oh, haha.
Ooh, what are these books?
These are books of various subjects such as metallurgy, how to talk to girls,
Sabeiro, I found a book for you.
how to talk to boys, all sorts
What?
of things.
What do you have for me?
There's a book here on how to talk to the opposite gender.
Nope.
There's also one on how to talk to dirt.
Wait, there's one to talk to dirt? Hold on.
Sera will smile and just walk away.
Sabeiro finds a book, The Earth and You, a conversation about seeds.
Damn it. It's worthless.
It's worthless. Throws it on the ground. Ah.
I'll
Hey,
proceed to
guys.
this one. Is this also a water clock here, Arcadum?
Yep.
Okay. Anything different between the two, or are they identical?
Nope.
Okay.
What's up with this destroyed chair?
Yes,
It's a
Roxanna?
destroyed chair.
Oh,
Somebody got really
Okay.
mad about their seed
Yeah.
research.
Not me.
Found,
Probably my uncle.
found something that looks like a desk area.
Shall we?
Is that where you heard the...
No, I'm still trying to figure. Can I, as we went down those halls, could I have figured out where I could have heard the wind noise?
Coming from this direction.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Oh.
a door.
That sure is a door.
From this door?
Hold on.
Yes.
Roxanna's favorite.
Okay.
Use some of the flour I have.
Oh.
See if we're able to see if
Why?
the draft is coming from underneath the door.
Oh, that's smart. And she's gonna kneel down and do what Sabeiro suggested.
Evelyn's body shivers at the sound of flour.
I gave you PTSD. I gave you Baker's PTSD.
For a moment, the white powdery substance blowing in the wind reminds Evelyn just how fleeting life can be.
Fortunate Son plays in the background.
Banana, banana. No, but the wind is coming on the other side. The draft is.
Yeah. That's. I guess this door leads outside then.
open it.
Do it. What?
Oh, hold on.
Should we
Mm,
check the map first?
Yeah, consult the map. I kind of want to peek, and then we should barricade it. But is there question, Arcadum? How does the knob work? Like, what kind of doorknob is it?
It's a door lever.
Lever. Okay. Could I do the thing where you prop the chair against it and they can't open it?
I mean, yeah, you could do that.
Okay. What does le map say?
Well, let's consult it. Yeehaw.
That should be, according to the map, the foyer's greeting desk.
Well, should I peek with my sense and then we barricade it so we can safely explore this area?
Was there anything else in this room?
I think
I
you
want to
see.
go in.
What was that, Al?
I kind of want to enter.
Well,
Would
that's
you
where
like to
the.
give it a peek?
I could peek.
I'd rather be safe about it and let Roxanna do her peeking.
I agree with that. I'm sorry, Albert. You're quite loud in your armor.
That's all right.
Roxanna blushes. Peeksies.
Ooh.
That's
You
not
know-
creepy at all.
I'm not a fan of the mannequins as
Cratzzy,
she vessel senses.
Danger.
I'm not entering. She's just poking head in and vessel sensing.
Perception.
God, zooming so close to the mannequin, like the wood detail on top of its head.
Careful what you ask for.
202.
You detect no danger in the room. No, the mannequin does not appear like it will attack you.
Yeah.
Or move when you take your eyes off of it.
Albert.
What do you
All right,
see?
now Nikki, remove it and put it somewhere else.
No, now is not the time to do that.
All right.
Oh, good.
So it seems that there is a door adjacent to this one, or will lead into the same room. So we should barricade both. But it doesn't seem like there's anything in there, in terms of silent.
What?
But it also doesn't look like there would be anything of important yet for us in terms of research.
Why would there be a draft in there?
Well,
If it's
wouldn't
the
it lead
entrance.
outside?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we want some
Wait.
fresh air?
So
I'd love
what's the
some.
need for barricading that door?
Well, doesn't it lead to the... I might be getting confused. I'm not holding the map currently. But Sabeiro, didn't it lead out to the foyer area?
If it
Quite
goes outside,
possibly. Which
maybe it's
means
our
that they might have
gardens.
left that door open. The door
Yeah.
that might be in there anyway. If it's a grading desk, there has to be something directly in front of the desk.
Well, let's explore that room and see if there's anything more practical to barricade in there.
True.
Okay. Ooh,
All right.
another door.
Somebody search the desk area.
Oh, do you think this is like an employee break room?
Actually,
like
I
the
think this is
entrance.
where you're supposed to schedule your meetings.
Oh, the back room, this door.
Sera will walk up to the main.
Oh, that maybe.
It's the front desk.
All right, Sera.
I'd like to examine this.
As you get closer to the mannequin seated on the chair, you can see that it is kind of etched with extraordinarily realistic features. In fact, were it not for the fact that it's slightly faded and creaked, that you maybe might even have noticed that it was not a real person. But it is in fact a puppet of wood, string, and leather.
Just like our keeper.
In addition to
I
that,
Go ahead.
in front, you can see that the desk appears to be pretty ornate. It's got all kinds of papers and parchments in front of you. You can see that
I
these
would like
papers
to-
and parchments are clean and clear. There's some ink with dried up, or there's some ink wells that have long since dried up and quills next to them.
Sera will take the quills for her supplies. I'd also like to do an Arcana check on the mannequin.
Sure thing. All right. That will reveal that these incredibly well-constructed mannequins are more than simple objects. They were once a creature. Not necessarily alive, but they were a functioning creature. Specifically, they are founders. So now I can reveal more. So founder is a subtype that refers to an autonomous false entity. So essentially a robot. The founders are constructs / robots.
Are they various sizes? Or are they all small like this? I'm assuming this is small. Could you describe it to me?
Founder is a type.
Okay.
It can be attached to
Okay.
any creature, like a person,
Okay.
an animal, anything like that.
Got it. Okay.
What?
The papers that are on this desk, I will ask Moto. Anything of interest here you'd like to look?
Moto will kind of shrug.
I'll peruse them. Is there anything of interest here, like guest records or anything like that?
No, there's no records, only plain pieces of parchment.
Oh, they're okay. Clean as in plain. Okay.
Roxanna,
I will take those as well then.
you
for
see
myself.
that there are signs over the doors. The one on the right is an open eye. The one on the left is a closed eye.
What
Gender?
gender is eyeball?
I'm done.
Done what?
Oh, did you actually?
Yeah.
I didn't hear any flushing.
Albert, as you walk in, you smell urine. Lots of it.
Did you at least wash your
Ugh.
hands?
I'm pretty sure
What the hell? I think you need to get this checked out, man.
Oh, you're disgusting.
It's not my problem. It's the body that I'm possessing's problem. It's a
I mean-
problem on loan.
I mean, he
It's a
did
problem on loan. I like that.
He did just come back to life, so he probably doesn't need to wash his hands because he has a clean dick or whatever.
Draft? Question mark?
There's worse things to be called than Mr. Clean Dick.
I would very much like to look at this next.
So that is another one of those mannequins that is very well made, but lifeless. This
I
one,
find it disturbing because it has strings on it, unlike the other mannequin.
this one appears to be. This one appears to almost be like a royal knight with no armor. Roxanna, as you approach that door, it is ornate and beautiful to look at, and it is closed.
Pretty. Is there more draftness?
Yes, you can hear it coming from outside.
Can I peeksy?
Sure.
Moto, do you want any of this string? I noticed you had one earlier.
Are there any discerning marks?
Okay,
on
as
this?
you look, as you open the door and peek, you actually see that you are no longer in the amphitheater, but you are outside.
Oh.
Let's just run.
As you look outside, Roxanna, the wind blows open the door out of your grasp. And outside, you can see slowly in the distance, the sun begins to rise over the horizon. And as it does, the entirety of the conflux that you can see from your current position at the elevated situation of the Ardent Amphitheater goes out over the valley below. You can see rivers flowing in and out of tributaries. You can see that there are all sorts of things just beyond the misted morning. As the sun raises higher, you can see that before you, the stone steps lead further and further down. An ornate and gorgeous garden and hedge maze can be seen just barely visible through the mist. You now have access to the conflux.
Whoa, that's really great.
Alright, close the door. It's too breezy.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean for it to swing out of my hand. That lovely morning, by the way. Should we blow it off? I didn't sense any dangers or anything, did I?
No.
Great.
Are there any windows, Arcadum? Are there any windows at all? I'm noticing a distinct lack of windows.
There is not.
Windows are a structural weakness.
Correct.
Well, mystery solved, I guess.
So we unlocked the open world.
Where do these doors go? On the sides? These ones?
I thought, didn't they lead outside? Oh, they're locked. Is that one locked over there?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be locked. You can open them if you wish.
Oh. Yeah, I just let outside. No.
Whoa, the music triggers.
I love it so much that you can just cut it off by closing the door.
Alright, anyways.
Door closed.
Party outside the
You
club.
walked outside.
That was a sick song, though. Can we get it back on, please?
The party's just outside the club. It's like, all right, you're allowed in. Opens door, music gets loud, closes door.
Albert's
Albert's a bouncer now.
Yeah. That's a sick soundtrack.
Alright, that was cool. Anyways.
Hey, how sturdy is
Freedom?
this table?
Huh?
How sturdy is this table?
It's decent.
Decent enough to barricade 3 doors?
No.
Aw. Unfortunate.
That'd be one hell of a table if it could block up 3 doors.
Alright, let's finish exploring this place.
Sera will admire the markings on this.
We could just leave. Why?
Are
No.
the markings on the
Nothing
table
outside.
similar to the Keeper's mask?
I don't believe so at all.
I mean, I doubt it too, but I figured it'd be a question to ask there.
It does not seem like they are, no.
You know, if it weren't for the circumstance we find ourselves in with the whole, dying and then being brought here against our will, full of monsters, this would be a really nice place to visit.
So are the silent only confined within this amphitheater? Or are there many outside, many other dangers that we're probably not aware of?
We know the queen is in the gardens, most likely. So if she's there, she's unlikely to be alone.
Great, so we can't even go outside.
We're also aware that the silent came from outside originally. They
Inside,
raised up
you
against
see,
the amphitheater.
inside you see a private meeting area / study.
What's with the sword?
Oh, there's a window.
Oh fuck, there's a window.
Correct.
What the hell? This is.
Um,
I'm looking.
That window
Sera.
goes out
We're
towards
going
a.
here.
That one goes out towards a small courtyard that leads towards the gardens.
Mm.
Oh, actually, Albert, make me a perception check.
All right.
Never mind.
I bet I could do better than you.
Put your one eye to work.
So.
Enhance!
Oh, look!
He, in
Nope.
fact, did not do better than you.
A 2 and a 1. Good job. I assume the mannequin is the same.
Yes?
She said come
Come
in.
inside for a second?
Oh. Group meeting in a small room? Let's do it.
Yes, actually.
Sera will walk over to the window and
I'll
look
sit
out,
over here.
wistfully wanting to be outside.
Perception check, Sera.
Oh, sure. Perception.
Alright, with a 16, you notice something strange.
Okay.
There is a light moving through the hedges. And you see, just for a moment, a glimpse of someone who is not a silent. You see the curvature of their mouth is not sewn. You don't see any other features about them, for they are heavily obscured by their cloak. It seems that they pick something off of the hedge maze, and then they disappear into the depths of the verdant foliage.
Ah, the gardener. Got it.
Gardener's also a boss. Alright, so I wanted to
Sera will
actually...
keep this to herself. She will not comment on this to her party. She'll just keep looking outside.
I wanted to talk to you, all about something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit concerning to me. What are your guys' thoughts on the Keeper?
I think he's not long for this world, and without him, there will probably be chaos.
I don't have much thoughts involving the Keeper. It's all well and dandy that he brought us all here, but he's a bit touched. So I'm just gonna go and say I don't trust him that much. I trust him enough to bring us back, but I don't trust him that much.
Sera?
Sera will look generally sad. I relate with him. He was an archivist for this area, the head archivist. And he's losing his memories from the actions of others. From what we can tell, our actions can either help or hinder him. While I trust his intent, I do not trust that mask. When I used my magic to look closer at it, there was an essence to it that seemed not like the Keeper himself. So perhaps the mask is a source of something that should not be part of him. However, from our investigation here, these mannequins around here seem to be made either with his magic, or he is made with the same magic that made these mannequins that no longer function. That's my assessment so far.
The mannequins probably worked here.
Awesome.
Just like he does.
Well, I bring up this point because I was concerned about, well, all of you, say for Albert, when we were fighting the knights, we were all able to see that vision of his past. Well, I had a similar sort of sight when I looked into the Keeper, and she's going to explain the whole, like, primordial being looking at him, puppet strings mess. And then say that she basically explained what she said to Albert about not trusting him because she doesn't know if it's the Keeper or him being puppeteered or a mixture of both. What do you guys think?
You have no reason to lie to us. I trust what you say in the matter, especially after what you dealt with in that room with the book. But as of right now, he's our only source of information here. If you think that we can free him, I don't know if there's any information that would be here or in a different theater, but I don't even know whether or not he's even in control. We might just be being watched. Like,
He may be
scrying
American,
stuff.
like all these others, controlled by another force. When we freed the knight, the Candelabra Knights, an dark essence left him and corrupted something. It could be corrupting our Keeper.
I think it's our only shot of getting back to our lives. Even though we may be corrupted as of now, but maybe we can do something about it.
What if I don't want to go back?
Well, I do, alright?
Evelyn, your thoughts?
I think we need him, but also that anything could happen that could endanger us. And from what I've seen of the Silent, they are not really cool. So I would feel a lot better if less people had to deal with them. And if being a keeper is a responsibility of keeping them at bay and making sure that nobody else ends up like us, forced to fight them, waking up in another body they don't recognize, then there should be someone more reliable to do that.
Alright. How about, for now, we'll do our best to see about helping the Keeper with what Sera suggested. And, well, just continue our research. But if worst comes to worst, and there comes a time where he either decays or we can no longer fully trust him,
Check message, Nikki.
then we will... Let's take steps into... Oh, actually, let's start taking proper steps in training you, Evelyn. You seem to be able to control the soul fonts to an extent. We can do some research into seeing about training you into becoming a keeper.
I think this is a great excuse for me to regain the power I used to have, but in a different context. And that's all I really wanted. I wanted to become like a living folktale, a walking miracle. So this feels like the greatest chance to do that again.
Power hungry.
All the magic you guys are doing is baffling to me.
I know,
this is a
right?
fairy tale.
Sera holds out her hand and conjures a snowball.
So
Me as
cool!
well.
It
This
looks
was not
pretty,
my
but
past life.
it's not enough for me.
I never saw any of this, like, growing up. So, this is all just stories that I heard. Imagine waking up, being surrounded by magic you never thought was around. Imagine waking up in a body that's better than your prior one. And being surrounded by people that are basically adventurers. This is
Sera will turn
amazing.
her tiny snowball into a little pickaxe and hand it to Sabeiro as a present.
You know,
Thank you.
actually, since we're on the subject now, what's everyone's goals as of right now? I think it's safe to say that we need to work together, but what's everyone's individual goals?
I'd like to better understand how we got here. And while I'm not sure if I'm ready to leave, it leads into how we have more control over what's going on around us.
I want to learn more about these souls and becoming someone who can control them.
I want to go back home. No offense.
None taken. You deserve to go back to the life that you had. If it was a happy one, at least.
Thank you
We've
for
already
that,
died
Sabeiro.
once. We'll take measures so that no one else dies here.
Bunch of murderous hypocrites back in my home. I don't care anymore.
Also a bit concerned. I mean, as far as... Well, when you think about it, we're not sure how much time has passed. Did we come here the instant we died? Has it been... I don't even want to think of how long, but even if there was a way to go back, how are the ones closest to us going to react when they've already mourned us? Wouldn't that be a bit selfish?
I don't have that, so...
I don't
Mentioning
think
their
anyone
past
mourned me.
lives, and after staring outside for long enough, Sera has actually remembered the name of her wife. But she will not share it with anyone. It's formed in her mind, so Moto will know, but she won't share it with anybody.
I've had an important character revelation, but screw everyone here.
While the
Sound
party
like we're all role-playing.
while the party continues their their sharing of goals and pasts and hopes for the future, the sun slowly begins to rise to its apex outside, brightening the entirety of the amphitheater. Oh god, that looks great. You guys saw that?
Oh
I did.
yeah, that is... Ooh, the saturation!
And
Hell
so,
yeah.
the sun rises and a new day starts. And that is where I will have to call the session for tonight.
Sick.
Booyah!
Nice.
That's very cool.
Loving it.
We all had a moment. That was nice.
Oakley dokley.
You're so kawaii.
Alright, now that got set up. Alright, good one. Good. Feels good.
Feels
Game,
good.
guys. Woo!
I'm so sorry.
Very good
Level
session.
3. Not kidding.
Maybe
Okay, very good session. So now, I've got to
One
see
second.
if there's any fan art.
I'll be right back. I got quickly do something.
Okie dokie.
All right, first up, we've got some fan art from Jace.
Hell yeah.
Look at you, Nooya. You look so adorable.
Hold on.
Imagine.
I'm waiting to look. I'm waiting. Stream's loaded.
There we go.
What the heck? I'm trying to copy an image over.
All right, good job. Good job. Evelyn, work in progress from Jace. Very kawaii.
Legally asking. That's so funny.
Just legally asking.
Roxanna, work in progress. Very cool.
I love the headband.
I'm trying to. Damn it.
Very kawaii.
Give me a second.
Oh, I'm so psyched to go outside, guys. Oh, there's so much we
Such
can
an epic
explore.
theme song.
I hit the plus button and all it shows is create thread and use /command. It seems like I'm not allowed to put pictures.
Still says I don't have permission.
Seriously? Oh, that's
Yeah.
annoying. Let me see if I can
Yeah,
fix
chat's saying they can't get in there.
it. Hold on.
Hey.
There we go.
For me, I'm not sure yet. But I'm trying to. If someone else can do it, I'm pulling up the one that.
Are we looking in the same fan art? The Twitch fan art, right?
Yeah. I see Sabeiro's meme.
Yeah,
I'm looking at. Yeah. Do you see the artist who drew Albert above Session 4 fan art closed?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drew Evelyn, and I wanted to post that in there.
Try posting it again. The fan art's completely open now, so you should be able to.
Free reign.
I could do it.
Someone else do it, please. It's not
We've
working.
learned that Sabeiro likes Sprite. Trivia knowledge.
Does he like Sprite? Okay.
Listen, I've already talked about possibly
my
being like a
God.
NASCAR franchise where it's like I just get a bunch of brand stickers on my armor.
Okay.
Like we have to like bring capitalism to Conflux.
I posted it in another channel, the text for VC.
Oopsies.
Wait, I can't. Yeah, I can't post images.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
Why
broken.
is it
What
not
the hell?
working?
Yeah, I don't know why the fan art's closed to everybody else. Hold on, I'm gonna try and fix it one more time.
Oh, that looks so cool. Can you stop dying for literally 5 minutes, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to get that one in there.
I will mention that the
There you
throwing
go.
explosive things, I didn't throw it. Albert did.
Oh, I figured it out. That's the problem.
You were the brain, I was the hand.
Yep. I figured it out. Hold on.
The fighters are just 2 brain cells.
Okay.
Oh,
you
I didn't
should
shoot
be able
this
to...
guy, the gun
Can
did.
you do it now? Can you do it now?
Oh, yep, got it.
There we go.
Yay,
I fixed it.
nice.
Sorry about that.
By that dude.
Has Roxanna
what's up?
thrown an explosive?
I hit him. I took a charcoal bag.
Oh, that's right.
I spitched the.
Oh, we got another piece of fan art from KC Reality here.
Yeah, it
I'm
should
gonna
be
trust
officially
you.
open
You have
for
to take
everyone.
off the mask. Good God, put it like my eyes. I can't do it. Disturbing. All right, I trust you. That's pretty good.
I love it.
I love the art.
When he has little glasses.
Very cool.
Nice.
Oh, I haven't done anything yet with what's around my neck.
God,
Leaky face.
it's
Mysterious.
It's very exciting to have fan art again.
That is so good.
Such good vibes.
I really
you.
like it. I'm gonna have to get you to take your mask off for me to trust you. Good God, put it back on. I can't look.
The
Disturbing.
bags.
All right, I trust you now.
I love
Evelyn,
that
just
too, it's
stab
like
him.
peeking around
I
the
am
corner.
speed. Do damage. I can go 60 feet to turn. Just kill it. That's
That
pretty
was a
good.
viable strat.
That's exactly what happened.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Good stuff. All right, well, thank you guys so much for the fan art. And also, I want to go back through here real quick and thank everybody for all the subs, because there were a lot of subs dropped. We had like Soul dropped 10 subs, Silver Siege dropped 10 subs, Silver Siege dropped another one. Prince Does Stuff gave out 6 community subs. Thank you so much. Foxy resubbed. Thank you. Andy Obbs dropped 10 community subs, and then he dropped another 5 subs. Thank you guys so much. We are now back up above 900 sub points. And if we get to 1100, ooh, that's going to be a third game.
All starring us. Wink.
For those of you that are interested, the second game will be starting on March 4th.
Friday
at 5 p.m. CST. Oh, Undead Commander, thanks for the 10 gifted subs. Prince Does Stuff, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. Subity Soup subs. That's a lot of subbing. That's an excessive amount of subs.
Get them sub dubs.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the subs. That means a lot to me.
Arthur, we need more subs.
Arthur!
King Arthur Flower.
I'm so sad all the time. God, jeez, what is wrong with you? God, I am so
Arthur,
sick.
take our subs to Tahiti.
I am very sick. Holy shit.
You need some.
Soon.
You need some NyQuil.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some hard medicine tonight, I think. But anyway, that will do for that'll do for session 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks players for playing. Thanks everybody for showing up. We'll see you guys in the Discord for the next games. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.